We are locked in. You are locked into the sports zone. Razorback Nation, welcome to the chillest spot for real talk, bold takes, and no off seasons. I'm your host, Cordell, aka the Wine Boss, serving up a smooth insight with a bold finish. Yeah, welcome everybody to our show today. This is episode number six. Episode number six, everybody. So we're moving right along as scheduled. Episode six, we're going to talk about the Razorbacks. And before I get into it, make sure you like the channel. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the Wine Boss channel, Sports Zone, so you can be up to date with everything that we put out. Okay, so still more questions than answers right now after the second week of practice for the Razorbacks this season. We as fans are hoping for a really good season. And I believe that as fans, we have to kind of slow down, control our emotions, and give it time. We have to give this time. Like, we don't understand that the team went through an overhaul after the last football season with the insertion of this transfer portal. Is really like made things extra challenging because you can't rely on stability from returning players because they can leave if they don't like, anything about the program. And then you throw money into the mix, now you have what we have now. Most people don't understand that the Razorbacks have 53 new players. 53 new players. I mean, that's almost like you're starting over from scratch. So when you take that into consideration, it's kind of hard to say we should win this many games or that many games. I mean, it's kind of like a crapshoot. I mean, I know that Arkansas is not the only team in that situation, but everybody that's going through this process, it's not guaranteed to pan out the way that we would prefer as fans. So it's really, really a dicey situation. So we just have to wait and see, and hopefully things work out to our favor. But today we're going to dive into the lingering questions about who's going to step up and who's going to be relied upon. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today is Monday, August the 11th, and we are less than 3 weeks away from kickoff on opening day for the Razorbacks. The Razorbacks went through a full-fledged rebuild in the offseason. 53 new players installed on this year's team, a lot of which are supposed to be good players. Having talent is essential, as we all know, for optimal success. But in the midst of having talent, you really need leaders to emerge at every position. And this is something that coaches are really working overtime to identify. You have to have guys that are students of the game, players that are just strong physically. Players have to be just as strong cerebrally and as they are physically. It's one thing to be a physical specimen, but not knowing where you're going on out on the field. Like, you don't know the plays, you don't know the timing, you can't control your snap count. You keep jumping off sides. So that type of thing. You can be the most talented person in the world, but having talent, it won't make you jump off sides, or it won't stop you from committing a penalty because you're not prepared mentally. Being disciplined about doing the right things, that type of thing. Talent doesn't help you in those areas, and I feel like if you look back at Arkansas over the past years, they've been in a lot of games. I mean, there's only been a few games where we just couldn't stay on the field with our opponent, but a lot of the games come down to game management, and um, that's on the coaching staff. You have to make the right decisions in the heat of the moment, and a lot of times we struggle with that. So to make a long story short, we can have all the talent in the world, which I'm thankful that coaches are happy with the collection of talent that they brought in. But my biggest question is how well rounded will they be as a player? We still don't know what kind of team we got until the season starts. Is that a good thing? Well, typically it's not. But maybe in this case it will be. All we can do is trust in our coaching staff that they will teach and develop these new guys as fast as possible in order to save the season. Bobby Petrino and Travis Williams are as good as it gets. So we have good leaders that are good teachers. So we just have to be patient as fans and let's see how this process goes. Yeah, I want to go over the depth chart with you guys so we can just kind of see what we're up against. Like when I say so many questions, I'm looking at the personnel. So we have the official depth chart, and this is off of ourlads.com. So we have Arkansas roster pulled up. And if you see the players that are in gold, these are the new players. So when we look at this offense, we only see one, two, three, four players that we had on the team last year. So you're replacing seven guys. And that's a lot of people. And the majority of it is, dealing with the receivers. You have some good prospects in here. But again, who's ready to go? Who knows where they're going? Who has the cerebral and the mental aspect of the game down? These are the players that we're going to need these guys to turn into, you know. But I'll talk a little bit about the players that we know that's coming back. Fernando Comana, he's a redshirt senior. This year he'll be playing left guard. Last season he was playing left tackle. So coaching staff feels that he's better at playing left guard, so he'll be moved to his natural position. So he should be a lot better this year. Then you have Amarion Harris, who's a redshirt junior. Amario Harris was one of the worst guys against the pressure in the whole SEC last year. So though he's a returning player, are we excited about that? And then you have Keyshawn Blackstock. This guy, he played last year too. He was behind Amarion Harris in most pressures allowed in the SEC. Are we supposed to feel good about him, even though he has experience? Then there's Taylon Green, redshirt senior transfer. I think it's reason to feel good about Taylon. I mean, he showed a lot of progress last year. His line has to be better, and we see that there's only one guy on the line that is coming back with any type of experience in the SEC. So we feel like they'll be better because you do have decent talent coming in, such as Corey Robinson II, playing left tackle. You have Shaq McCroy coming in, but again, he's a redshirt freshman. He hasn't played. So there's still a question mark about how good Taylor's line going to be because he can only be as good as his line is going to allow him. Then you have Braylon Russell. Braylon played a few games, but he got hurt at the end of the year. Only carried it 60 times, in the whole season. So there's questions there. So everybody that I've named, pretty much that's in blue, there's questions about, except for Taylor Green and Fernando Carmona. So you see what I'm saying? There's a lot to fix. Now let's look at the new players. Omega Blake, he's supposed to be a stud. Raylon Sharp, he knows Petrino's offense. These are the guys that we're going to have to rely upon. But again, Raylon has not played in the SEC. You have Monte Harrison in blue, but he didn't play last year, even though he was on the team because he was just coming over from baseball. Though he's looking impressive in fall camp, do you trust that he's going to be able to be what we need him to be? I'm not saying that he's not going to be that, but we don't know. Then there's Jalen Brown, a speedster. No continuity with KJ. I'm sorry, KJ. With Taylor Green. No continuity. And then you have CJ Brown, a fast guy. But again, he didn't play much last year. Courtney Crushfield, a transfer with a lot of talent. But does he have chemistry with Taylor Green? And the same for Andy Jean. Talented guys, but do they know where they're going? And that's the biggest question I feel like that we must have. And let's look at the defense. The defense got more blue meaning returning guys. So you would think that makes you feel better a little bit, but there's still questions about the guys that in blue. Charlie Collins is the defensive end that we have in blue from last year, but he didn't play much last year. He was undersized. Danny Sally, senior transfer, they are excited about him. He's had a great fall camp, lost a lot of weight, so that's a plus. We got Cameron Ball. He's our everything on the defensive line, so that's a plus. Quincy Rhodes, loaded with talent. 4-star prospect coming out of high school. Now he has the opportunity to show it, but he hasn't shown it. So this is his time. So we have to have a slight question with him. Steven Dix Jr., solid, red shirt, senior. Xavier Sorey, red shirt, senior transfer, both of them. Both of those guys are solid. Steven Dix is the leader of the defense. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 pluses I see from the defense that I would say that's green. Then you got Larry Worth, experience, senior transfer, hell of an athlete. That's a plus. Miguel Mitchell used some last year, but still, I would say is a little raw, but it's loaded with talent. And then you have Bradley Shaw. We like Bradley Shaw. So you got more guys on the defensive side of the ball that I feel that knows where they're going, and they should be slightly ahead or maybe even more ahead than the offense, I would think. Then you got Justice Boone, raving about him, Andrew Harris. Those guys are coming in, transfers. So, I mean, you have a lot of Jaheim Singletary, another experienced guy. So you got about 6 guys on the defense, maybe 7, that got valuable playing experience. But the one transfer that I didn't mention on the offensive side of the ball is Mike Washington Jr. I have to give him a round of applause because this guy is tearing it up in fall camp. In the spring, he benched 350 pounds, squatted 500. He has a 39-inch vertical. He runs the 100 meters at 22 miles per hour. The guy won all the contests in the offseason. I mean, he's a worker. He's big. He's elusive. And he's fast. And he can catch. He's the real deal. And I believe that he's better than what the coaching staff thought he was, because right now they're sounding like that he's the starting running back over Braylon Russell, who's also highly regarded. So we're moving right along. Okay. So I feel like the defense, as we saw, is solid. They're pretty solid, and they're going to have to lead the team until the offense comes along. If that takes place, then we got a chance to be really good because I feel like a lot of these guys have a lot of talent, but it all just has to come together. So, in a nutshell, you got 5 returning guys on the offense: Taylor Green, Braylon Russell, Fernando Carmona, Emarion Harris, Keyshawn Blackstone. So, it doesn't sound promising because anytime you got receivers that have to get chemistry with the quarterback, the offensive line, the whole right side is pretty much a new line. So, they got to get going. So, those are a few questions that you have to ask yourself about the on the offense, and the defense seems to be more solid. The front seven is pretty well put together, but I do have some questions about depth on the defensive line. The linebackers have depth. Andrew Harris, you have Xavier Sori, you have Steven Dix, you have Bradley Shaw. I mean, you have a lot of talent in the linebacker. You have a lot of talent on the back end and secondary. But these guys don't have experience. And when you don't have experience playing defensive back, it's you can have all the talent, but you still could be detrimental, to the team. So it's still a lot to be said about what we have. But the guys are working hard and the coaching staff is working with them. And, all we can do is work and be patient, fans. We just have to be patient and allow the process to manifest. And as I said before, we have a pretty good coaching staff, pretty good teachers. I've been looking at a lot of film of the practices. Coach T. Will is hands-on, in the teaching process because talent is one thing, but teaching, you have to make sure that the guys understand the culture and they have to understand where they're going. Because when you're on the team, on the defense, on the offense, everybody has a job to do. And if one guy failed at his job, then the whole play is pretty much shot. So at the end of the day, it's just going to take time. And us as fans, we just have to understand that. And, hopefully things work out to our favor. So in conclusion, as I stated before, so many questions than answers right now. With so many new players, the biggest pain point for the coaches is trying to make sure that guys know where they are going and know what they're doing. How well do they understand the schemes? A lot of the new guys will be relied upon early, in the year, but will need to have the playbook down. Will they be cerebral players that are students of the game? Talent is a word that I really don't like because every team in the SEC has talent. But all the teams don't have the same developmental program. All the teams don't have the same coaching scheme and the same coaching acumen. Does talent alone help you learn the details that it takes to compete in this tough SEC conference? I don't know, but I guess we'll see soon enough, right? Only time will tell. So that's it for today's episode number 6 of the Sports Zone. If you like what you heard and if you like what you see, do the thing, people. Subscribe, follow, and share it with your people and share it with all your fellow Hog fans. You can catch me at WineBoss1978 for more takes and behind the scenes action. Until the next time, stay bold, stay loyal, go Hog!